Hello, my darlings, and welcome to Episode 1, Season 1. We are going to be starting the game here in just a moment. Welcome to Slimelore, Obsidia in Peril. This is going to be a podcast, as you know, about my own custom RPG. Let's see what happens. Our characters find themselves in the town of Beetlesboro. The weather is fair. The clouds are not heavy overhead today. Beetlesboro, at the current time, has dirt roads for roads throughout the entire town. What are each of your characters doing? To start, my character, Ethan Blackwood, is going to go to the Eleanor's Bumble Brews, which is a local tavern near where he's staying at in the woods. All right. Who would like to go next?
Solara is walking through the forest on her way to Beetlesboro, and with her is her companion and partner and daughter figure, Starfire. We are headed there to complete the job that Solara needs to complete in order to finish her training as an assassin.
I use my druid to transform into a rabbit and sit on Solara's arm as she walks.
Since we haven't got there yet, I'm going to have you roll a D100. If it's 50 or above, then you can do that. If it's 50 or below, then your character does not successfully do that.
I rolled a 90.
All right, so you turn into you say rabbit?
Yes, I did.
All right, you turn into a rabbit. Rek, what are you going to do?
I reach up and pet Starfire's head as she sits there upon my shoulder or arm, and just continue walking until I enter Beetlesboro, and I take in the surroundings and the people and beings within the town.
All right, and don't forget, guys, you guys can ask questions about what's around you, what can I do, such and so forth. All right. Zafira.
Zafira is tightening her belt along with her seed pouch.
All right, and then what?
And from then, she is stocking up on seeds and stocking up on items to craft.
Alrighty. So, it's taking Ethan a little bit longer than it should because he is wearing off from the night before of having a little too much fun at the tavern. He slowly makes it there. As he enters, he finds Eleanor, a beautiful dwarven woman, standing at the counter. "How can I help you?" she says. I'd like some whiskey, please." Eleanor says, "Of course. I'm also making some eggs and bacon. Would you like to have some of that? It's only, I'm going to say 10 gold. "Absolutely." All right, who's next? All right.
I'll have Solara making her way through town, still holding Starfire, just casually stroking Starfire's head. She decides to go to the tavern, feeling a bit famished from the journey. "Starfire, I think it's time that we have a rest. The journey has been long," he would say to the rabbit. People perhaps looking as they see this person just walking along, new to town, talking to a rabbit. Certainly a little different. And as she enters the tavern, she scans the room, and her eyes fall upon Ethan, and she knew that there is a reason she'd been drawn there.
Absolutely. And as you were walking through the town, you also noticed that you had gotten some looks. Some of the people around had given you almost a kind of nasty look. They haven't seen Fae in this area for a very long time. I'm going to say at least 50 to 100 years. So you can tell that there's eyes on you. As you enter the tavern, though, Eleanor, of course, greets warmly as she always does. Welcome, everyone! Welcome to my tavern. What can I get you? I am currently making drinks, and I have food in the back. I have some bacon cooking and some eggs, and we also have all kinds of different mead. We also have whiskey. We have many different drinks. What would you like?
Solara smiles to Eleanor and thanks her for her hospitality as she sits at a booth in a corner, keeping her eyes upon Ethan. She simply orders a water for now and asks for a simple water for her rabbit companion.
All right. Do you do anything this turn, Gray?
Gray, sorry.
No worries.
I turn back into my human form.
Okay, are you doing it right where you're standing?
Yes.
Roll a d20.
Whatever. D20. I rolled a 12.
As you start to transform back into a human, you realize you're still standing on the table, and the table falls over. Ethan turns around, looks, and shakes his head and goes back to drinking his ice-cold whiskey, as Eleanor walks over so kindly and so friendly. No, it's okay, it's okay. Please don't transform in my bar. She says as she kind of giggles and runs to the back to continue cooking the food, realizing she probably left it alone for a little bit too long. Sage?
Zafira takes a long breath. This new town isn't half bad. Much different than Forestborn. I feel like this could be the start to a better life. Her eyes lower, and her smile drops after reminding herself of the forest-born land in which her family resides. She shakes her head.
Is there anything else you'd like to do? How far are you from the tavern?
Zafira is just outside of the tavern.
All right. Would you like to enter?
Yes.
All right. As you enter, Eleanor also greets you warmly, complimenting your hair as it has flowers growing on it.
Zafira gives her a stern look, sort of judgmental. She doesn't trust people upon meeting them for the first time.
Eleanor's a little bit surprised. She's not used to people not reacting super well to her friendly demeanor. So she kind of stands there for a moment and thinks for a moment and walks back to the kitchen, where she grabs the meals and brings it out and puts it on the counter in front of everyone, offering to sell it. Although, also, by the way, everyone has 100 gold to start. As she begins to place the different meals on the counter, you can smell the eggs perfectly cooked, seasoned with pepper and lemon and several different spices that are maybe unknown to you because some of you are new to the area. You can also smell the bacon. It smells fresh and it looks exquisite. She also beckons everyone over to get a drink. Would anybody like to get a drink? We also have food cooking here. we'll also have food ready and prepared.
After Solara had recovered from the embarrassing moment of Starfire transforming upon the table, causing her Mark to turn and look in their direction, she slowly stands and looks to Starfire. I'll bring us both something back. Try not to make a spectacle of yourself again, my dear. She heads over to where Eleanor had put up food and starts to put together a plate for herself and for Starfire, knowing exactly what she likes, what they like, and also grabs a drink for them both, still not getting anything that contains any kind of alcohol, before returning and sitting with Starfire.
You gotta pay for that, Eleanor says.
I plan to.
Payment first, my dear, Eleanor says, as kindly as she can, knowing that she's been through a couple situations in the last couple weeks where a couple bandits and a couple other villagers had come through and ate a meal on her dime and left.
Of course, I do apologize for my misconceptions that I would just be trusted upon approval of appearance. Starfire, dear, go pay for this meal and give an advancement for whatever else we might have. Open a tab.
I don't often do tabs, but I can trust you, so I'll do a tab.
All right, how much will it cost to go ahead and pay for what we already have?
That'll only be 20 gold, and if you're new to town and you're looking for a place to stay, we do have some lodging for 20 gold for now. I'll give you a couple extra days, so I'll give you about 5 days. And then I will charge you probably 100 every 20 days.
Why, thank you.
Of course. What can I say? We here at Bumble Brews really, really want to make a difference. We turn no one away. Actually, my parents came here a long time ago, and it was well known that not a lot of different races were welcome in different places. So this little town became a home to everyone. It's exclusive to everyone. Anyone's welcome, and that's the number one thing I love about Beatlesboro. You can be whoever you want to be.
I reach into my pocket and I go ahead and grab the 20 gold that I owe.
All right. Did you still want to get a room as well?
Yes. Let me go talk to my mother about how many beds we would like and how many nights.
Alrighty, just come back and let me know when you're ready. Ethan kind of turns and still kind of shaking his head a little bit as he grabs another sip of his whiskey.
And Eleanor, I apologize for transforming on your table.
Oh, it's no problem at all. I'm just not used to that.
I do it a lot.
She kind of giggles as she walks back to the bar and begins to ask Ethan at the counter, "Ethan, would you like to have some?" "Yeah, you know me, Eleanor. Here, I got oh, crap. Here, 20 gold for the food, and hell, I'll just give you the rest to give me some lodging for a bit." "Of course. You know, you don't have to leave that much extra, right?" "Yeah, I know. But I want to keep you in business you're really making a difference in. That's all I care about." "Oh, that's so sweet." Alrighty. Zafira?
Zafira sits on one of the tavern seats alone. She looks around with uncertainty and confusion. They have never met anyone with a sweet cadence or stature. They don't know how to react.
"Oh, hello, dear. Would you like something to eat? You look a little hungry. And I haven't seen you around."
I'll take some bacon. Oh,
of course. No problem at all. Of course. The bacon's fresh, and don't worry about paying. You look like you've had a little bit of a hard time, and my biggest thing is I want to help people. Would you also like lodging for a few days?
I sure wouldn't mind a lodge. This is my first time here. This is my first time anywhere besides my hometown.
I totally understand, and we are very safe here. I just kind of noticed, I kind of noticed something in you. Maybe I see a little bit of myself in you when I first got here. So I want to help you out. Come on over and get a plate, and can I get you a drink?
Just a beer would be fine. Thank you.
All right. She goes over to the counter and she begins to prepare a beer and prepare your plate, where she puts a little extra bacon on the plate, as well as 1 egg. She gives you like twice the bacon she's giving everybody else. And she brings it over to you and sets it on the table. Let me know if there's anything else I can get for you, okay, dear?
Saphira hesitantly says, "Thank you."
Of course. Let me know if you need anything. She begins to go over to Solara's table. And how's the food tasting?
Fabulous, actually. I give my thanks to the chef. Or rather, you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Solara looks up and compliments Eleanor. It's rather tasty. I've never had these flavors before. Where I come from, things are rather bland, actually, which is tragic.
Yes, it is.
As for the cost of lodging, I'd like to go ahead and pay for 20 days of lodging.
20 days? I don't know if 100's gonna cover that.
No? Okay.
But you never know. Maybe I could get a few people to help around here, and maybe we could come up with some kind of deal. You never know.
I'm perfectly open to working out a deal with you.
All
For
right.
now, I'll get a 5 days worth of lodging, and then from there we can decide what we'd like to do. Does that sound reasonable, Eleanor?
Absolutely. Let me know if you need anything at all. I need to go check on some of my other patrons. As she says this, you see this big, muscular, gruff-looking dwarf enter. What are you doing, guys? Where's my food? He says as he walks in. This is the bane of Eleanor's existence. Everyone meet Grumblegut. He is the dwarf who literally comes over and pretty much makes mischief in Eleanor's inn and tavern. What are you doing? You're new around here. He begins to say to Solara.
I have no idea what you said, sir. Do you care to repeat yourself?
I said you look like you're new here.
Yes, I'm very new here.
I can
And
tell.
you are?
What was that? I kind of interrupted you there. Can you say it again?
I said, and who might you be, sir?
I'm Grumblegut. I'm the local dwarf, drinking champion, crafting champion. Just kidding, not really. Don't want to talk about it. Anyway, so what are you doing around here?
You do look a little rough, sir.
Excuse me? That's not very nice of you. You look pretty short for yourself there, kiddo.
Sir, I am 24 years old, and also you have eggs in your hair, and you haven't eaten yet.
Well, excuse me that I don't look all fabulous and fancy.
Solara simply looks to Starfire and gives her a look that she's well known for giving Starfire when she's not being very personable.
Are you this child's mother?
Mother figure, sir. I'm actually younger than she is.
Well, that don't make no sense.
Does anything make sense in this world?
He says as he grabs one of your drinks off the table and starts drinking it. Eleanor sees this and instantly begins to pour a brand new pitcher, and she puts a little something in it that you can see kind of changes the color of it. As she brings it over to you, knowing that this is a common occurrence, she sets it on the table. I'm so sorry. What are you sorry for?
Eleanor, you are truly an amazing host of this lodging and tavern. However, this gentleman is very much distasteful.
Oh, distasteful? That's not very nice to say. I think your mother better keep you in line.
At this point, Salora is pinching the bridge of her nose and just looking at Starfire. And she says through gritted teeth, "My dear, I think perhaps you might want to go check on our lodgings and make sure it's to my liking."
Or you could get this reject of a man out of my face.
Oh, ho, ho.
He's not in your face, dear. He's not in your face. He's standing there having a drink.
Oh.
Be a dear and go check on those lodgings now.
Those are fighting words. I dare you. Better yet, I challenge you to a drinking contest.
I don't want to have a drinking contest with a man that I can smell from here.
Oh, that means you're scared. Oh, poor little kid's got to wait for mommy's approval.
Scared of you? Heavens no.
Me and my egg-filled beard.
Your beard makes me want to gag and vomit all over you.
That's not very nice. Okay.
Solara takes her food and her drink and gets up and walks away from the table while Starfire has a verbal fight with a dwarf that we've just met and decides to go and sit beside Ethan and just huffs, looking at him. "Kids, what do you do with them?" she says before she turns to her food and her drink.
All right, Ethan is going to reply to that. I wasn't ever that lucky. He says as he grabs his ice-cold whiskey glass and takes another sip. As this is happening, back to Grumblegut and Starfire. Oh, come on. If you're not gonna do a drink, then you gotta do a fight. Come on, don't be a coward. Let's do something. I've got to prove I'm better than you.
All right, let's do an arm wrestle then, shorty.
All right. So I'm gonna have you grab a D. Okay, roll your D20. You need to get at least above a 15.
I got an 18 and I can show you.
Okay, I rolled an 8. So you're good. As you begin, his arm begins to give a little bit. It's actually turning back towards the side of the table when he's going to lose. I need you to roll another D20.
I got a 13.
He begins to pull it back. It's back in the middle again. Roll again.
I got a 15.
All right, you begin to pull it back again. It's headed back towards his side, falling down. All right, roll again. This time add 2.
I got a 19.
All right, as this big burly man with egg in his beard stares at you, you smile a very devious grin as you grab his arm and slam it on the table. Oh my god, what the hell are you?
I'm an elf and a druid, my love.
What the... that was rigged. I'm going to the bar. Screw this. He says as he walks away, sucking up his pride as he walks. Both annoyed, angry, and embarrassed all at the same time. All right. Zakai, I said that wrong. Zafira. Zafira, I am so sorry. What would you like to do? Seeing all of this happen, you have now seen one person transform on a table, one person have a literal argument with a dwarf. You watched a very small figure literally slam a dwarf into the table. And you saw him walk away with his pride, as well as you've kind of also seen Solara and Ethan at the bar. You've also been watching from a different angle, kind of like a different corner of the bar. So you've been able to see everything as it's played out. What would you like to do? And don't forget, guys, you guys can ask what's around you and those kind of questions too. Ouch.
What is around Zafira at the moment?
Where you're at now, there is another table. You're actually near a window, which is on the outside rim of the room that you're on. Essentially, it's you can see out onto the street. And there's also a couple weapons and things on the wall, as well as a couple bottles that you can tell are very, very old. Probably were used to make mead in the past by Eleanor's family.
And then where is Solara and Starfire?
Okay, so from where you're at, they are literally to your left and about 10 feet away or more. They're at a table, and you can also see the bar, which is about 5 feet from where they are to the right.
Okay.
So you're at a vantage point where you can see everything happening throughout the entire bar.
Sorry, I'm writing this down real quick.
No worries. All right. Just let me know when that's getting nearer by sending the word sleep in the chat. But yes, what would you like to do other than that?
Zafira looks around and shakes her head and scoffs under their breath and makes their way to the bar, sitting alone and asking, how did I get myself into this mess?
Ethan kind of notices that you sit down. You're like farther down the bar, but he can see you, and he can tell you kind of had a day. So he kind of signals over Eleanor and goes, and she actually brings you a cold glass of whiskey.
Zafira nods in approval, like she was meant to have this cup of whiskey and that it was deserved. She looks over at Ethan, giving him a stern and confused look. She has never felt safe in an environment and isn't used to sweet, so she doesn't know how to react to the people amongst her.
He smiles and kind of raises his glass as if to say cheers to you, and then drinks down what he had, literally in like less than 2 gulps.
Zafira looks away and stares at the bar counter.
Ethan begins to look back over at Solara. So, what brings you here?
Just traveling, Solara says, looking over to Ethan. And maybe finding some work. What about yourself?
Honestly, same. I made some bad decisions before I came to Beatlesboro, and I'm paying for it every day. I lost some people I care about, and I don't know. I haven't been the same since the shipwreck. I don't really know how to describe it other than I don't feel like I'm really here. I keep seeing everything that happened happen over and over and over in my mind, and it's so overwhelming. I don't know what to do. And I'm sorry. I know it's weird for a stranger to just be talking, but you know, whatever. Eleanor, get a drink for. So, what's your name again?
It's Solara. And what was your name again, sir?
It's Ethan. You can call me Ethan. He says, kind of laughing, but kind of like almost a sorrowful laugh. Yeah.
Solara extends her hand to shake Ethan's, and she goes to say, you know, we've all had hardships in life, but the thing that I've come to learn is we can only learn from the things that we've gone through, and the things that we have no control over, we shouldn't let affect our everyday lives.
I know.
She says, thoughtful.
I know. I try to put it in the past. I try to put it behind me. I'm not that person anymore. You know, I'm not that same guy who just, yeah. He says as he looks down, you can see that he's thinking about some very painful memories. You can see that there's almost a little bit of sorrow written on his face, and you can see a tear kind of stream down his face before he quickly wipes it off. He begins to eat a little bit as he's just sitting there.
Solara notices the tear that he quickly brushes away, and knowing that most don't like to address their feelings, she simply looks at Eleanor and says, "Next round's on me, Eleanor." And then she turns to Ethan. "Just know you're amongst people who do tend to care. Whenever you need someone to truly listen, I'll be an ear." And she turns back to her meal.
I appreciate that. He says as he continues to eat. What does Starfire want to do?
Starfire walks up to Solara and goes, "Hey, Soul, I'm going to go check out our lodging. I'm going to try and see if the beds are to your liking."
Solara turns to Starfire and says, "Very well, Lamb. You go up and you check everything out. Make sure you get your bed right, too, and that you're comfortable." And she makes sure to lean over and give Starfire a hug and tells her, "Well done for the arm wrestling match against the dwarf, to whose name she's already forgotten. Brumble something or whatever. Didn't really matter at the time."
Well, I'm going to go talk to Eleanor now. Thank you. Bye, Soul. As I turn to walk towards Eleanor.
What the bloody hell is that girl doing? That was embarrassing. You kind of hear it. You guys, you can kind of hear it out of the. It's almost hard to hear, but you can hear him at the other end of the bar. That was embarrassing. Oh my god. Should I buy drinks for them? No. I mean, but my pride. God damn it. I better not.
I walk up behind him and giggle softly into his ear. "I won."
"Oh, you dirty little bastard. I swear to God. I swear to God. You're in some deep trouble. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you later. You just watch."
As I continue walking to Eleanor.
What you don't notice is he's actually grinning at the side, kind of away from you, as you don't see this, but Ethan does, and he's kind of laughing to himself a little bit. Does Solara notice this? Actually, wait. Roll. I'm gonna roll a d20 for you. What is your perception modifier?
Where would I find that on my...
It's gonna be in the smaller
sheet
section on the first page.
Okay. I need to figure out where that is. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I don't know where to find that. I'm really sorry.
No worries. Give me just a moment. I will find it real quick. I just have to go back.
Yes. Let's see. Let me keep looking.
Your perception is going to be the smaller numbers from like 13 to 17. You'll see what I mean if you look at the old picture that I sent you, which was the saving throw thing. Your perception is +3. No, wait, perception. Okay. Your perception is +0. Your performance is +3. So, you roll a 5.
Okay. I'll have to have you lead me through this until I really learn everything, if that's okay.
That's fine. I'll just need to bring that up on my other phone. Give me just a moment. There we go. I don't have...
I mean, I can't find perception on mine either.
Are you guys looking on the new sheet or
I'm
the
looking
old
at
sheet?
the one that you emailed me.
Okay, so that's going to be easy. Sorry, guys, we
Isn't it
are
right
kind
in
of
school?
new to this, and we are playing randomly at the moment. So when you guys look at your character sheet, you will see... Sorry, I'm trying to find the right app.
I think it's right under charisma and skills, like that little, like, perceptive wisdom.
It's by that. So when you look at it, you see the thing that says skills. If you look at charisma, which is on the side, you look over to the right and it says skills. These are going to be the things I ask you to look at. So for perception, you have Ethan has a +1 for perception.
Okay, mine thing I see perception has a 0.
Okay.
+0.
Yeah. So you'd have a +0 on that, and you got a 5. So
Okay.
you don't perceive what just happened.
Okay.
But Ethan does. What would Zafira like to do next?
Zafira swirls around her whiskey. Zafira holds themselves high, but has a soft and gentle side she doesn't know how to quite show yet. She takes a sip, feeling a bit more comfortable now after a quick drink. They rest lower in their seat. She is the first of her family to rebel from tradition.
Ooh, I loved that. Starfire, what would you like to do?
I continue walking to Eleanor as I greet her. Hello, Eleanor.
Say that one more time. Sorry about that.
I walk up to Eleanor and I softly greet her. Hello, Eleanor.
Hello, my dear.
I was wondering how the lodging for me and Solara was going.
It's actually ready. I will say that we may need to have somebody wash some sheets and such, but there is a room up there for you. If you don't mind waiting a little bit longer down here, I can have somebody clean them for you. As well as,
Of course.
if you hang out for a while, we'll also have supper tonight, too.
Well, thank you. Of course I will be here, even if I am in the lodging. I'm pretty sure Solara will summon me.
Absolutely. Ethan's going to kind of see some movement around, and he's going to kind of beckon his hand up in the air and beckon Eleanor over to him. Hey, Eleanor, you know how I'm always looking for a little extra gold, you know? Do you know any rumors or any jobs nearby that I could help with? Actually, yes. She says this quite loud. Everyone can hear this. Yes, actually, I actually need some help around here. And I'm willing to pay a little bit of gold or possibly help with some lodging. Maybe both. I need to get this looking better. You know, I have some messes that need cleaned up, and I could use some help with the upkeep on this house. Would you be interested? You know me. I'm always looking for some gold. Of course. Give me just a moment. I'm gonna go look and see if I can write down a list. All right, all of you have heard this. Starting with Starfire, what would you like to do?
My ears perk up as I walk over, and I offer my agility with my ability to transform into animals that can fly to fix up the roof.
Okay. how are you going to go about saying this? Because are you going to say this kind of like almost in a showy way?
No, I'm going to offer it as an assistance with gratitude and peacefulness.
All right, I am going to persuade... You're going to have to persuade her to to let you try and transform in the bar again.
No. I'll transform outside, and they just give me the supplies they need me to use to fix the roof, because I don't want to embarrass myself again.
She, Alright, roll a d20.
I rolled a 15.
All right, she agrees. She smiles and hesitantly looks over and goes, okay. You can see that she's a little nervous as she says okay, but she also kind of smiles, remembering that you literally just beat Grumblegut not that long ago in an arm wrestling match, which he was undefeated until that time.
Yay, me.
All right. Zafira, what would you like to do? You're still on mute, by the way.
Zafira quietly walks over and shows Eleanor her tool belt and seed pouch, offering the help of crafting and growing herbs.
Oh, really? Wait, so you could help me with my garden out back?
I could.
Oh.
I have a lot of experience growing herbs and crafting, as I spent about a year thriving in the forest.
Oh, you have no idea how much that would help me. I literally just dug an area behind the house and have been trying to get a garden going, but I can't. I gotta tell you, I couldn't grow anything. I do not have green thumbs. I am a dwarf. I'm good at making mead, and I'm good at making stuff, but not so much a garden.
I could totally help with that. That's what I used to do every day in the forest, so this is second nature to me.
You know what? If you help me with this, I will pay you a little bit of gold, and you can eat supper with the patrons.
That really does mean a lot to me. I'm trying my best to show as much compassion as I can, because I'm not used to the friendliness here, but I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's our goal, you know. Being a dwarf and not having any facial hair is kind of difficult. I kind of get looked down on it for it, because most dwarfs grow beautiful facial hair, and I haven't, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, I understand what it's like to try and find a place that you feel at home and to not be able to find it. So I get it. She says as she kind of smiles a emotional yet heartfelt smile.
Zafira smiles back. This is something that she's never done before. This is the first time Zafira has ever smiled.
She kind of smiles back as she says, hey, so if you want to, there's a door out back there's a door at the front that you came in, but if it'd be easier, we actually have a door through the kitchen, which if you'd like to go out and start working on that, you definitely can. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll bring you out some ale or something, depending on what you like. Do you like, have you ever had a spiced dragon?
Doesn't sound familiar to me. We didn't really drink much at home.
Ooh, it's one of my favorite brands that I started creating about a year ago. It is a cinnamon whiskey.
That sounds delicious. I've actually never heard of that.
Yeah, it's kind of new to the area. Me and my family kind of make all kinds of different things. We mix a little bit of magic with a little bit of culinary and, well, what can I say, mixology kind of feel. So I'll bring one out to you. But be careful. You might breathe fire. Just saying. She kind of giggles as she walks away happily, kind of almost skipping in a very happy, feeling happy for herself and like she's done something great. She kind of just walks over to the bar. Ethan looks over and goes, "Oh my God. My God. How did I find myself here?" He looks over at Solara. What the hell? What the hell's going on? Is it just me, or is this place like too good?
So Laura slightly chuckles to herself, looking to Ethan. She says, "Honestly, I don't know. Where I come from, it would be called camaraderie. We all pitch in to help each other. It's what you do when you want things done, and if you need something in return, you tend to help out." So Laura thinks she doesn't have much training in anything very useful aside for being an assassin, really. But she is good with certain magical abilities, and she is willing to learn. She looks to Eleanor. "You know, Eleanor, I'm not very educated in many useful things, but if you're patient and willing to teach me, I could learn anything, cooking, cleaning. I'll start by washing dishes and work my way up."
Actually, you know what? I have a great idea. How strong are you?
Oh, do I look on my sheet for that?
No, just like you describe what you're going to say. Like she's asking you an in-depth question. Like, how strong are you? Like, what can you do with your strength, essentially?
Well,
or what do
I'm
you have
I'm actually rather quick and agile. I have above average strength, so I can carry heavy items, or I can be security.
Hey, you know what? That's a great idea. Maybe you could help me move some of the kegs and barrels that we have down in the basement, as well as keep Grumblegut in order, and keep out any ruffians who are trying to just damage our my property.
Shouldn't that be my role since I put him in his place?
She kind of looks over
So
at you and
Laura
smiles.
actually thinks... So Laura actually thinks I can try to keep Grumblegut in place, but I think that's more Starfire's job, as they've displayed already.
But she's so small. I don't want her to get hurt.
Honey, I crave pain.
She kind of gives a look of, as Solara begins to say.
So Laura just simply laughs. "Oh, you have no idea how my dear Starfire truly is. They won't get hurt, and even if they do get hurt, I think they'll enjoy it a little much. So, really, Grumblegut should probably behave themselves."
Fair enough. So maybe I'll just have you help me move some stuff around, and maybe you ever done any, like, butcher work?
Actually, yes, I have. I'm quite efficient at butchering.
You know,
the things that we hunt. Animals. Solara says a bit uncomfortably.
well, I actually have a couple friends that live about a house or so over. They keep their shop a little bit further into town, but their house is near here. They're two brothers. One's named Chop, and one's named Fillet, like fillet. Be careful of those two. Fillet's very scholarly, which can be a pain. And Chop is, how do you say very simple? Kind soul. who would like to go next? All right, go ahead, Starfire.
I quickly walk outside with the supplies that Eleanor had given me to fix up the roof, and I transform into a crow, carrying up some of the heavier supplies up to the roof, and I transform back into my human form, carefully building the roof back up from the holes that are already there.
All right, roll a d20 to see if you transform into a crow.
I rolled a 20.
Ooh, not only do you transform into a crow, but you actually transform into a dire crow, which is a very much larger form of a crow. So you're about the size of a Great Dane. So you have a lot of lifting power as you do this. But as you're lifting things and doing that outside, you run into Saphira.
Hello, Saphira says hesitantly.
Hello there. Are you also new?
I am. I just came from the forest a few days ago. It's been very stressful.
Are you doing all right? Would you like to come up and help me with the roof?
I wouldn't mind helping. I have a hard time adjusting to new places, especially because I never really left my home much.
I get it. I live with Solar most of my life. And even though she's younger than me, she helped raise me and showed me how to be the person I am, even if I am a little on the loony side.
I understand that. I can get a bit loony myself once you get to know me.
Oh, I'd love to get to know you. Would you like me to help you up here?
Yes, please.
All the while you guys are actually talking, you realize that you're literally talking to a crow. It's a good thing that you have the speak with animals ability.
Solar also has that one?
I believe it is just Saphira, but I may be wrong. Okay. Well, either way, you're able to communicate. This is where we are going to end the beginning of this episode, and we are going to continue it in part 2 right now. So I'm going to do the outro real quick. Thank you to all of you adventurers who are out there listening in and enjoying our game. I know it's a little unorganized right now, but as we continue to play and as we continue to build and we begin to really set ourselves up, we are going to get a lot better. It's going to be a lot more organized. And I really hope you not only enjoy the story, but you enjoy the experience. And I hope you have a good time. Don't forget, the adventure is out there. You just have to be willing to look. Don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting the good fight. And don't forget, roll for initiative. Just kidding. Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode. We are going to resume what happened in the last episode. Alright, as you guys are outside picking up and kind of just organizing things outside for Eleanor, Eleanor comes out after probably about 30 minutes. She comes out and says, "Hey, are you guys done out here?"
Yes, we are. We just finished the roof. And we also redid your side paneling a little bit.
Is Saphira up there?
Yes, Saphira is up here with me and decided to help.
Okay. Well, your bed's ready when you're ready.
Of course, thank you. I will be down in just a minute.
Of course. Thank you for your patience with us. Alright, and you guys make your way back inside. Ethan and Solara are still sitting at the bar. Solara, do you want to start conversation with Ethan?
Yes.
Alright, what would you like to say?
Oh my gosh. What is Ethan going to be helping with again?
Cleaning up, organizing, doing whatever she needs, essentially, which may even be helping with a couple orders.
Okay. What's Ethan's appearance again? I'm sorry.
Ethan is a very handsome man, black hair, muscular build, long hair that is up in a bun in the back, but not like a big bun, but more like a ponytail, slightly rounded off.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, geez. I don't know how to start that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. All right, so Ethan is going to notice a little bit of uncomfortability on Solara. You doing okay over there?
Solara really isn't used to communicating aside from talking about work, jobs that she must complete, how her training has been going, everything that she has to learn, everything expected of her from her father, General Maxim. So when Ethan asks if she's doing all right, it's as if she's shaken from her own thoughts. Oh, yeah, I'm fine, just deep in thought and contemplating everything that I might be getting up to while I'm here.
Yeah, that's good. Good, I hope?
Oh, not really, Have you ever dealt with the expectations of a father a bit overbearing?
More times than I can count on one hand, lass.
Well, then you can sympathize with what I'm going through.
Yeah, I never wanted to be a sailor. Mom and Dad just had to have a sailor son. My brother just couldn't. My brother just couldn't be a sailor, so they made me one. So I know how you feel.
Yes, well, I was raised to do some certain jobs that I don't necessarily agree with, and I struggle with completing them. I'm currently on a job now that I'm starting to struggle with completing it as we speak. But, I think I just enjoy myself while I'm here and decide for myself if I want to complete the task or not.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I myself am on a job too. Well, other than always trying to find extra income, I don't know. I'm just trying to find somewhere to be. I need somewhere to go. I need somewhere safe. Tired of all the running. All the fucking running. I don't know how much longer I can do it. Can I call you Solo?
Solara just sits up straight and slowly looks at Ethan. Absolutely not. It's Solara or Soul.
It's okay.
If you ever call me that again, I'll smack you in the back of the head.
It's okay, Solo. I'm just saying.
Solara doesn't even give him a chance to say anything else before she gives him a swift smack in the back of the head that's very audibly heard.
Ouch. Aggressive much?
Not aggressive. I gave you fair warning, did I not?
Fair. You want another drink?
Yes, I do. And I actually believe I'd like some rum this time, since you owe me that for calling me that horrible name.
You mean Solo?
She smacks him again a little bit harder this time.
Ay. All right, well, can I, hey, Eleanor. Yeah, what can I get you? Give me something spicy. Yeah, you know the one. Ah. One for the lady too? Get her two. Alright, if you're sure. Put it on my tab. Damn it, Ethan. Thank you. I'm getting you some drinks. You said you're not from around here, right? You haven't been here long?
No, I'm new in town, actually. Just came in earlier this morning, actually, with Starfire, my sister.
No way. You mean the girl who literally just, like, threw that dude on the floor?
Yes, that very girl.
That was impressive. I ain't never seen Grumble guy hit the ground so hard. He says as he kind of laughs into his drink. I mean, that was comical. That's going down in the legacy of this bar. He says a little kind of goofy, jokingly, but also kind of serious. So, Eleanor, are you almost done? Eleanor's still just kind of mixing the drinks. Zafira, is there anything that you would like to say as you come inside?
What is around me right now?
Okay, as you enter back in through the kitchen, you see all kinds of stuff as you're going through the kitchen. You see kitchen knives, you see culinary spices that you've never seen in your life. You even see some magical ingredients and just some other sparkly things as you pass by. As you get back to the same room again and you enter the room, what are you looking for as you enter?
Zafira would want to look at the magical items on the wall.
Okay, as you walk back into the open area, you do see something glowing on the wall. I mean, it's such a faint glow. It may be something that maybe only you can recognize at this time with your sight.
Zafira looks at this item and her eyes light up. She reaches for it and then quickly reaches her hand back, thinking she probably shouldn't take this from somebody.
Do you want to do an insight check to find out more about it?
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to have you roll a d20.
Where did I put it?
And you're using an insight, so that is going to be on your character sheet. Do you know where that's at?
So I rolled a 12, and then on my insight sheet, or that would be with the other skills, right?
Yeah, it'd be under skills, and the insight would be near intimidation.
Okay, so my insight is a +2, so then it would be a 14, right?
What was your number before?
A 12.
Yeah, yes, it would be a 14, which beats my numbers, so that works. As you look closer at this item, you realize it's a cane. A very, very beautiful, very, very old cane. Its glow is almost mysterious, as you can tell that it's almost moving at such a slow pace that you can barely see it, as if they're almost wriggling on the wall. This beautiful wooden cane. It's kind of bent in some places, and it's worn for wear on some edges. But you can definitely feel a magic glowing. This used to belong to Eleanor's great-grandpa. James. Used to go by Jay. You can see his name engraved at the top, as well as you can see a little teeny tiny gemstone in the handle where he would grip the cane. This is very important to Eleanor. What would you like to do?
Zafira goes up to Eleanor to ask about the cane.
Alright, so you approach the counter, and how would you like to begin the conversation with Eleanor?
Zafira stammers. Hey, Eleanor?
Yeah.
I had a quick question.
What can I do for you?
glowing cane on the wall. There's a weird connection I feel to it. Can I ask you more about it?
Of course. It was my great grandpa James's. It was one of the guilds made it for him when he started to have struggles walking. So, yeah. What more would you like to know about it? I can go more in detail.
I have a strong connection to it. Can I, if you don't mind, can I just pick it up to see how I feel?
Roll with your persuasion. What's your persuasion modifier? It'll be in the same place as the skills.
0.
0. Okay, roll a d20. If you get above a 12, she'll let you grab it.
Okay. I got a 7.
I got a 6. All right. Well, Great Grandpa Jay is not using it. Go ahead.
Zafira picks up the cane. The glow grows a little stronger as her eyes begin to light up.
You begin to notice that you feel a very strange magic beginning to flow through your hand. This connection is deeper than you thought. As you watch this cane, which you were kind of looking at in the air, grows down to the floor. You have now attuned to this cane. Eleanor sees this and watches as her great-grandpa's cane literally grows. This hasn't grown in years. The last time it moved was before the grandpa had passed. So you see almost a tear in her eye as she sees that beautiful cane that means so much to her in the hands of somebody worthy.
Zafira is shocked. She didn't expect this much of a connection. She screams a little bit, not expecting to feel the connection.
That's okay. It's good to see Grandpa's cane, great-grandpa's cane, coming to life again. It's what he would have wanted. If you don't mind, would you do me the honor of keeping this in memory of my great-grandpa?
I don't even know what to say, Zafira says. Her eyes start to water. Tears begin to flow down her cheeks. It would be an honor. It would be such an honor if I could keep this. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Do you mind if I hug you?
I don't do hugs.
She kind of smiles, wipes her tear, and then shakes her head like she understands. Just promise me you'll take care of it.
I'll try my best.
I appreciate that. She kind of heads back to the bar to make sure the other patrons are comfy and cozy and everybody has their drinks aplenty and their food. Solara, what is on your mind right now as you're sitting next to Ethan and as you're thinking about Starfire and how you came to meet Starfire?
Solaris in quiet contemplation on how she found Starfire. Wandering in the forest. She was rather young. Not as young as most would think, but she was young. And although they were both the same age, it was easily seen that Solara was the more serious, more stoic, while Starfire is definitely more animated and easily called a loony. But Solara loved her for it. although Solara didn't really show it outwardly. She just thought about all the times that Starfire had been there and the times where Solara actually did crack and did show the feelings that she had for Starfire, caring for her, wanting her to be happy, caring about her safety, ensuring that she's never really known another sad day of her life because she deserves the best that the world can give her.
Ethan looks over and he kind of grins as he watches a sweet smile land on your face. Huh. Solo, I didn't know you could make any other facial expression other than a sad face. He says, almost mockingly, but also playfully.
Solara gives him another smack upside the head, maybe not quite as hard as the other ones. Every time you call me that, you're going to get smacked. Just be warned of that.
I'll keep that in mind.
And yes, I'm capable of many emotions. I just don't tend to show them, as it's not strength. I have to be strong.
I'll keep that in mind. This is gonna be funny, says under his breath. Would Starfire like to do anything?
Starfire walks up to Soul and kisses her cheek as she grabs the key from Eleanor to go up to their lodging. Good night, sister. I'll see you in the morning.
Have a good sleep, you hear Eleanor say as you make your way up the stairs. The soft little paddles of footsteps going up the stairs. Everybody kind of smiles a little bit.
Solara just smiles and gives Starfire a little kiss on the cheek in return and a quick kiss to the forehead. Sleep well, lamb. I'll see you in the morning. Don't wait up for me. You know I stay up at unreasonable hours.
As Starfire finally reaches the top of the stairs and makes her way to the room, Grumblegut kind of peeks back in and goes, "Thank God she's gone. My lord. I swear."
I'm always watching.
He looks around kind of like, almost concerned. Oh, I just heard that in my mind. Definitely didn't happen. I'm fine, he says as he checks back and forth, looking in every direction as if you'd be crawling on the ceiling. Oh, I don't like that.
Peeks my head over a pillar. I still see you. Behave.
Oh, Lord. I think I need to see the priest.
If you hurt my Eleanor, I'll hurt you again.
Okay, good. I don't know who's the mama bear here, but leave me alone. I'm just trying to drink. I was just being a smartass. Okay?
You better. And remember, pay your tab this time, or you'll get a visit from me.
Alright, god damn. Fine, whatever. Eleanor, I'd like to settle my tab. Well, not all of it. I can pay half.
What'd you say? All of it.
But I can pay half.
All of it. Did I stutter?
Fine. Here, Eleanor, I'll pay my full tab. It's gonna be 400 gold. 400 gold? I've been drinking that much? And you didn't throw me out? Well, I'm not your babysitter. I'm an innkeeper, and you're purchasing goods. Why would I tell you to stop? That is my livelihood. Hell, Grumblegut, you keep me in business. Oh my god. Alright, here's my gold. Next time you want to take out the mortgage, just call me. Whatever. He says as he kind of tucks his head and makes his way out of the bar, carrying the egg still in his beard. Wait. Is that food almost done, Eleanor? Are you talking about lunch? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, are you making that boar again? Oh, I love your barbecued boar. Yeah, and there's also going to be some vegetables made by one of the local farmers. How long will it take? Well, maybe an hour or so. Alright, maybe I'll come back. Just let me know if the demon's gone.
I might be sleeping, but I always know what you're doing.
I think you need to have an exorcism. Do you understand me? That girl, something wrong with her. I mean, she's great. She's great. She's great.
Indeed, something's wrong. Ask my sister.
Of course, that chuckle almost sounds like something out of a horror movie, as you can slightly hear it echo in a sinister sound at the end. Alright, I'll be back later. Do you need anything while I'm out?
Pick me up some carrots, Grumpgut.
As you wish. Eleanor, how about you?
Good.
Eleanor, what would you like? Just bring over some barbecue. Made by you know who. Alright. You know, that's expensive. That's very expensive. Oh, come on. Don't hold out on us now. Alright. Just take my whole coin purse, why don't ya? Fine. I'm going. Bye, demon lady. Bye, Eleanor. Bye, strangers.
It was nice meeting you.
Oh, that girl gives me the creeps. He says as he walks out of the inn. You can almost feel a happy bit of joy as you know he shivers as he walks out that door. Ugh. It's creepy. All right. My brain keeps changing. Zafira, what would you like to do as all this is happening? As you hear this hilarious voice literally torment this dwarf as he leaves.
Zafira chuckles and shakes her head as she twirls around her cane, not even realizing this is an anxious mechanism that she tries to hide but doesn't know how. She shoots a glass off of the table with the magical cane.
I'm gonna have you roll. What do I want to have you roll for? Ooh, I want to have you roll a dexterity save. So roll a d20 and roll a d20.
All right. So I got a 2.
As you begin to try and twirl around, as you're playing with this cane, you actually lose your footing a little bit, and as you're aiming for a glass, you actually hit a bottle that is on the wall behind Eleanor.
Oh, I don't know what happened. I can't hear you, Lex.
All right, one moment, please. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, so as you rolled that number, you were trying to twirl around, but you actually lost your footing. And as you begin to fall, your cane shoots a bottle off of the wall behind Eleanor. Oh, God.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Picks herself up as much as she can.
It's all right. You just barely missed my head, though. She says as she grabs one of the bottles of wine that she's obviously made because it has this cute little drawing of a almost cartoonish bumblebee on the front. And you watch as she kind of takes a couple swigs from it. Oh, God. This is going to be a real adventure. I love these guys. You almost hear a little bit of, like, excitement and a little bit of in her voice. All right. Solara, what would you like to do next?
Maybe just try to learn more about Ethan. So maybe just get him talking about whatever.
What subject would you like him to start with?
What subject? Let's see.
Because, like,
you know what? She's never been to sea. Maybe she's never really been to sea very much. Maybe she can ask about what it was like being at sea.
What is your? No, I already know that. Absolutely. You want to know what it was like when I was at sea? It was,
Absolutely.
It was difficult. I mean, which time are we talking? How far back do you want me to go?
Solara thinks for a moment and then looks at Ethan. Well, what drew you to the sea at first? I've often heard sailors and others talk about having a call of the ocean. Is that what drew you to sea?
No. I never really wanted to go to sea, you know. My dad wanted me to be a sailor because my brother couldn't be. My brother wanted to be a bard. Wanted to be the spotlight, wanted to be the show, and my parents were supportive. But one of us had to do something to honor our family. It had to be me. So, I don't know, when I was like 12 to 14, my dad sent me on a ship known as the Shark's Fin, or the Finland, as it was called and nicknamed. We sailed a lot. I think we went on a bunch of different shipping jobs. It was pretty treacherous, especially being that young, being stuck at sea, not really having that comfort when I was, growing kind of sucked. It was never my call. He kind of...
Solara.
You're good. He kind of looks over and kind of just thinks for a moment as you reply.
Solara listens to everything Ethan tells her, and although she's never been to sea the way that he has, she can understand having to fulfill a role that they really don't want to. I can kind of understand that. I'm my father's only child, and he's only raised me to be a perfect soldier, to do what he wants me to do without question. But the things that I'm told to do, I question some of the things. Other times, I can see why I must complete the job that I am sent to do. I am starting to struggle and question whether I truly want to follow his rules.
I don't blame you. And he shakes his head in acknowledgement as he's really kind of vibing with exactly what you just said. It's nice to have someone who understands what he's gone through, who doesn't just see him as an unmet expectation. When I was about 20, 23, somewhere around there, I went out again. We had spent a couple years on land, probably when I was about 17, and when I turned 18, I had to get out of there. I couldn't stand still anymore. After being to sea and seeing some of those sights, even though I hated it, I had to, I had to go back out and I had to explore on my own. I had to get away. It's all I ever do anymore is run. You know what I mean?
Laura is nodding her head, acknowledging what he says, understanding it herself. She's just sent out to unmercifully execute, not question anything. But there's so many that she feels regret for the times that she's completed the task. And she looks over to him and she's like, I understand it completely. Although we come from two completely different lives, somehow they align and they're similar.
You know what they say. The strings of fate wind us together.
She nods. Aye, that is quite true, isn't it? I've also heard the saying that birds of a feather flock together.
That's very true. I hate all these dumb old acronyms.
I actually find them quite interesting. At times I've been told I'm too philosophical, although I think it's just sometimes I like to think outside of what I'm expected to be.
You know what? You're not so bad, Solo. He says as he prepares and catches your hand as you go to smack him. I get that. He then lets it down and raises his hand, letting Eleanor know he wants another drink. And this time, Eleanor is starting to get a little bit annoyed. I mean, it's happening frequently. She just leaves 2 bottles on the counter and walks off into the kitchen where you guys can smell the most delicious smelling barbecued pork ribs. The smell of the barbecue in the air and the fresh cooked meat and just the freshness of everything. And you can even smell the vegetables being baked in what you can only imagine to be butter and literal lemons and maybe some other spices that you're unfamiliar with, as well as some other vegetables and other things that are just being mixed in. You can also see a beautiful keg in the corner of the room that says, brace yourself. And it's beautiful. It's got a blue glow coming from the top of it and kind of a little spout in the center. And it's just sitting there. It's bolted to the wall. Saphira, what would you like to do?
Saphira, still wallowing in her own pity, never felt embarrassment before. She holds her cane tight and puts it in her belt sleeve. Though she is still riddled in anxiety and fear, she finds herself discovering comfort in chaos. She chuckles at the broken glass on the floor, offering a cleanup to Eleanor, as Saphira has seen her running back and forth completing tasks like she's never seen before.
Yeah, no worries. There's a broom over here, as well as a little dustpan. But don't feel bad. I understand, magic's unpredictable sometimes. You can't blame yourself. Don't feel bad or anything. Stuff happens. And what we can do after those things happen is either cry about it or prepare for the next time we can do better. Or, just... we have to be more prepared with magic sometimes, I myself dabbled in magic, and as she says this, you watch as she kind of almost disassociates for a moment, and then she kind of snaps out of it. I don't remember where we were, but here's the dustpan, she says as she grabs the dustpan from around the corner and hands it to you with the broom in hand.
Saphira smiles for the second time, a bit wider than before. Saphira picks up the broom and cleans up the glass.
All right. And while this is being done, what else would Saphira like to be doing after that's finished?
What's around her now?
Since you are out where the glass broke, you can see some holes in the floor. I mean, there's a couple coins that you can see stuck in the in between the wood. I'm gonna have you roll a d20 real quick.
Okay. I got a 11.
You do find about 3 copper pieces stuck in between the wood. Do you want to try and get them?
Yeah, Zafira would be stoked about that.
Heck yeah.
She likes anything shiny.
All right, but what would that be? That would be a dexterity check to see how fast you can grab it. So I'm going to have you roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
So that would be 0. Or actually, there's 3 different modes of dexterity. It wouldn't be stealth.
No,
Probably be acrobatics.
Dexterity would be the
Saving throws?
No, so if you see the numbers on your page, right?
Yeah.
The dexterity is going to be, there's actually going to be a plus or a minus beside it with +2 or +1 or 0.
Okay, yeah. It says 0.
Okay.
So I'll roll. And then I got a 6.
You attempt to get the 3 copper pieces, but as you begin to try and like move your finger in to like knock it down, you hear them drop, and you can hear a little ting in the basement as it hits a metal tin of some sort. It's big and it almost echoes a little bit.
Zafira looks at the metal tin along with the 3 coins. She is so happy. She loves anything shiny, and metal is one of her favorite things.
Are you going to try and go downstairs to try and get it?
Yes.
Or are you going to try and ask Eleanor first, or are you just going to try and sneak down and grab them real quick?
Zafira tries to sneak down and grab them.
Okay, so now you'll be using your stealth modifier.
Okay. So that would be +2.
All right, so roll a d20 +2. You have to get at least a 15 or above.
Wait, where did I just had it? Where did it go?
You want me to roll for you?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was +2?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you got it. You got it. You rolled a 19 +2, that'd be a 21. So describe how you're going to sneak down there, because nobody saw you.
Zafira gets low to the ground, hiding in her flowy dress. As she creeps down, she makes slight movements, tiptoeing almost down the steps.
Not a sound comes from the steps. You make it downstairs. And since you're downstairs, it comes back to Solara and Ethan. Ethan kind of grins again, kind of just trying to make small talk, but being kind of nervous and trying to be flirty, but at the same time trying to be respectful as well as pick on Solo over here. As we sit here, Ethan begins to get a little bit fidgety as he begins to kind of like flick at his nails and pick at him a little bit. Not anything seriously, just almost like an anxious tick. What do you do as you're watching Ethan be flustered?
Solara's not really unaccustomed to anyone really being flustered around her, as she does have a rather attractive form. And she knows she has unique eyes that are a lavender purple hue. Her hair long and black with streaks of silver done in random braids. She sees how he begins to fidget and seems flustered, of course. And she just looks over and smiles. So it seems you're a bit occupied over there. What's on your mind now, Ethan? She asked teasingly.
Nothing's on my mind. What are you talking about?
She giggles. So you know it's perfectly unnormal to pick at yourself when you're amongst some friendly company, unless you are a bit flustered for some reason. You know you can be truthful with me. I won't pick on you much.
I'm not flustered, he says lyingly. Very obviously lying. Not even trying to bluff.
Samara just keeps noticing how he's not even trying to bluff anymore. And she looks him over again and she's like, pity you can't be upfront and honest with me. You never know how I might react to honesty. I guess I'll just have to excuse myself if there's not anything to talk about then.
Wait. Yeah, I'm flustered, okay? I like to pick on people, and I usually don't get the best energy back. As nice as this town is, I can't find anybody that's actually interesting. Everybody's just... I don't know, it's like they're not really people here sometimes, you know? It's like a fairy tale. It's annoying. Everybody's so kind to each other, and I don't know. It just feels like a sham sometimes, you know? Then again, you know, having a shit upbringing, it's hard to see the good in anything that's good.
Solara nods. I can kind of understand that. I didn't have the most pleasant upbringing, and it wasn't terrible either. But kindness, the generosity, the camaraderie when you're not dealing with people that you literally have watching your back to make sure you see a next sunset or a next sunrise. It's so strange to me. It's foreign, really, that someone would just automatically offer kindness in return for whatever kind of work I can offer.
Yeah, that's true. Eleanor's good. She's helped me more times than I can count. She's given me more chances than my own family did. I don't know, you know? Sometimes I feel like I owe her so much more than I can ever give. She was there. She's tried to help me since I came back. There's not something right with me anymore. There's something wrong. I know it. I can feel it. You watch as a shiver runs down his back. I don't know. Something's not normal about me. His voice kind of deepens for a moment, and then he kind of snaps out of it again. Sorry about that. I don't know.
Solara notices all of this, hears the change in his voice, and for the first time, really, since she's walked into that tavern, her stoic face breaks and genuine concern is shown within her eyes. She reaches over and lays a caring hand upon his shoulder. You know, Ethan, family isn't always about blood. Family is who you choose and who is there for you, and always there to understand with patience and understanding. I think maybe even for me and even Starfire, we all may have found a little bit of a family within Eleanor's Tavern here.
Yes.
And I know we've just met, but give us time. I'll help you figure out what's going on, and I'd like to help you, Ethan. I can tell you're not bad.
I appreciate that, he says as he looks over at you. You guys actually catch eyes, and you watch as his eyes light up a little bit for a second, and almost a look of awe paints its way across his face. His face a mixture of surprise and just awe. He's never seen someone so beautiful, never seen such a light in their eyes, never seen such a beautiful being. He kind of freezes for a moment as Saphira, you're in the basement beginning to look for those coins. I would like you to tell me what your investigation modifier is.
My investigation modifier, where would I find that?
That's going to be in the skills area again. It's going to be near intimidation.
So that's a +0.
+0. So I need you to roll a d20 and roll a d20
for me, because I just realized I don't have a d20 and I was rolling a d100 the whole time.
Oh, no worries. 14. As you begin to kind of make your way down there, you see a dimly lit torch painting a little light on the floor. You can tell that the floor beneath the wood above is actually kind of like almost a dirt floor, or like a clay floor that has been made out of essentially what could be found. You can tell that there used to be an older part of the building beneath all of this, but probably to keep the structure secure with the limited funds that Eleanor has right now, she had to make do. But in front of you, you see hay on the ground, and in the hay, you see 3 coins. As you start to make your way over there, I need you to roll another, I'm going to roll another d20 for you. You thought you heard a scurry as you entered the room, but you kind of blew it off. You didn't. That was just the sound of feet scratching on the floor above as someone else entered the bar. You make your way to the coins and you pick them up easily. You can actually tell that one of them is actually a silver coin, and the other 2 are gold coins. What would you like to do now?
Saphira cherishes these coins and plans to save the silver coin for Eleanor, but then begins to question, why do I want to save this coin for Eleanor? Saphira had never had a sense of friendship or excitement before, so this was completely new to her. Saphira cherishes these coins and contemplates all of the things she could make with the newfound copper. I could make a garden tool, or a bucket, or a small pot or pan for Eleanor. Wait, why am I feeling this way? What is that? Saphira gets excited, and for a moment, she seems hopeful. Saphira packs the copper and coins in their belt, making an almost obnoxious effort to cautiously keep them safe by putting them in her belt pouch. They take a deep breath as they make their way back up to the steps.
All right, and that is where I'm going to end this part, and I'm going to not say anything more because we are going to continue on the next part. You begin to make your way back up the stairs. You rolled and you made it high enough to make your way up, and you did hear a little creak in the stairs, but it wasn't too noticeable. So as you get back to the main floor and you enter back into the room, Ethan does see you, but he kind of goes back to looking at the bar and looking over at Solara. Meanwhile, Ethan checks back and looks into the kitchen. Hey, Eleanor, you almost done? Smells really good and I'm hungry. Well, why don't you get back here and help? I mean, you didn't ask. Should I have to? Alrighty, give me a second. He says as he literally downs his glass, sets it back on the counter. I'll be right back. I hope we can continue this conversation. You're not too bad, Solo. He says as he grins and walks away. Walks into the kitchen. Solara, what do you want to do next?
Does Solara notice Zafira coming up from the basement?
As you turn around, you do see a little bit of movement from Zafira.
I want Solara to go up and greet Zafira.
All right. You are a little bit caught off guard. Zafira, what are you going to say as you see Solara making her way towards you?
Oh, hi. I wasn't doing anything. I mean, hey, I don't think I've met you before. What's your name? Hello.
Solara just smiles, hearing Zafira stammering and stuttering, of course not knowing their name directly yet. She extends her hand and says, "Whatever you get up to is none of my business. I'm Solara, though. You can call me Soul. And how may I call you?" As she holds her hand out to the young one before her.
You can call me Zafira, or I guess Zafira works too. I appreciate you saying that. I like you. I like that.
Oh. And no problem. I think I'll call you Zeph. Yeah, I'm going to call you Zeph.
Maybe not. Don't call me Zeph.
Yeah, definitely Zeph. That fits you. You're a Zeph. So what were you doing in the basement anyway, Zeph?
Basement? I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I am going to have you, do you have, there should be bluff. Do you have a bluff under your skill, Zafira?
I do not.
What about deception?
I do have deception, and that's a +2.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a d20 for you, and it's going to be +2. You almost got it, but you did not reach the AC, the DC that I was looking for. Solara, you can tell that this is supposed to be a deception. It's a kind deception, but you can tell that there's been a deception.
Would my insight wisdom be used in detecting this, or?
You can automatically tell just based on the way they're acting and the way that they just said that.
So Solara slowly crosses her arms with just a knowing smirk on her face. Zeph, come on. How are we supposed to be friends and get along if you don't let me know what you're doing when you're getting into things? How am I supposed to cover for you?
All right, I'll confess. I saw a little bit of copper peeking in the forest, and it caught my attention. I loved metal ever since I was a little kid, and that's always what I wanted to do, is metalwork and crafting. So I got curious, got the copper, and then I heard these metal coins. They fell into the basement, and I had to go see. I had to go grab them.
Solara nods her head and says, "Fair enough. So why not be honest about it? It's not like they weren't just laying there and nobody else has picked them up or gotten them out of the floor or went after the coins. So, finders keepers.
I guess that's true. Growing up, I had a fear of authority and fear of getting in trouble. And this kind of stuck with me throughout living in the forest.
Solara just kind of chuckles. Authority. It's the bane of my existence, honestly, and I'm quite rebellious and love to go against it, which my father, who's the general, mind you, absolutely despises. Don't worry there, Zeph. I'll help you get a little more rebellious and feel comfortable with it. We're all going to get along just fine, I can tell.
Not if you keep calling me Zeph. Keep that in mind.
What are you going to do about it if I keep calling you Zeph? Zeph?
Zeph takes her cane out of her belt pouch and lifts it up towards Solara.
Solara watches this now and goes, oh, are we going to need to take this to some private quarters? Because you have no idea how you might just be interesting me a little bit, Zeph.
Well, let's take it to the court. Let's see what happens.
Who said anything about a court? I said private quarters.
Okay, well, if you're offering.
I'm just saying that if you hit me with that, you might be biting off a little more than you can handle, Zeph.
Wanna bet?
As you're thinking of this, you realize that your room is also occupied. Do you need to communicate with Eleanor?
Solara suddenly realizes that her lamb of a sister, Starfire, is currently slumbering there within the same room. She looks to Zephyr. You know, perhaps we take it back to your quarters, or I need to make arrangements for the evening with Eleanor. What do you think, Zeph?
Let's go one-on-one.
That was the plans, but do I need to get another room, or are we going to go to yours?
You can come to my place.
I plan on coming. So lead the way.
All right, and as you make your way up the stairs to do God knows what, Ethan is still helping Eleanor in the kitchen. Eleanor, I mean, seriously. Do you have to keep it this unorganized? What are you talking about? Everything's perfectly where it's supposed to be on the shelf. Then what's this? Mind your business. Geez, sorry. But shouldn't it be right here? You have all of it alphabetized except for this one. No, just get out of my kitchen. Alrighty, fine. Saucy, are we? As he makes his way back out, he sees that nobody is there, but the other bottle is there, still on the counter. Again. He grabs the bottle and begins to drink it down. I am going to roll, and I did not do good. I'm not even going to look at my con save because it's not going to matter. He begins to drink from this bottle, and he is gone. He is gone. He's just sitting there. All right, as the two ladies make their way upstairs, Zephyra and Solara, they enter Zephyra's room, which is a little bit bigger than the other rooms that everyone else is essentially getting. And what do you guys do? Starting with Zephyra.
Zephyra draws her cane, preparing for combat. Her cane glows and their eyes flare in passion.
All right, and Solara?
Solara enters the room and takes in how the accommodations are a little bit nicer for Zeph, but pays no mind really, and turns to see that Zeph has withdrawn the cane and prepares for a battle. Oh, so we're going to battle instead of have fun? All right. Solara withdraws her dual Kirkery blades. They're not custom or anything special, just plain and simple. Made of strong elven steel blade metal. She starts to size up Zeph to try and judge what her first move might be. Well, make the first move, my dear.
Don't gotta ask me twice. Zephyra leans down. She prepares to go for a low swing.
All right. You succeed in your swing.
Okay, so the low swing, would that be taking Solara off her feet?
Off her feet, yes.
Okay. Solara is taken off guard by how quick Zephyr is and how she manages to knock her off her feet, landing on her back with a thud. She quickly recovers by doing a kick up and lands on her feet, doing a quick roundhouse kick.
All right, and then I'm going to roll for you to see if you dodge. It's going to need to be at least 13. You rolled an 18, so you actually dodge the kick. All right, and then I'm going to roll for Solara to see if she lands the step. You land the step without falling. What's your next move, Solara?
Solara misses her kick, so she ends up using... can she use a magic power to try and grab Zephyr's cane?
You could try and roll a d20, but you're going to be rolling at disadvantage. Because although you're using Mystic Grip, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to grab the staff away from Zephyra. You definitely don't grab it away from Zephyra. You attempt to use the grasp spell, but it makes one finger materialize and then disappears.
So Solara curses and does a quick jump back to put some distance between herself and Zephyr, reassessing her next move.
All right, Zephyra, what are you wanting to do?
Zephyra says, ha ha ha. What's your next move now, huh?
Solara just raises a brow and says, bit cocky now, aren't we? I've been doing all the moving. Why don't you show me what you're made of? I'm not just going to give without taking some back.
Zephyra raises her cane again. It glows brighter than it did last time. And then I don't know what'll happen next. I feel like that's a d20.
All right. So what are you going to try and do? Are you going to try and...
I'm going to try and, strike.
You're going to try and strike? You attempt to strike, but nothing happens. A little spark comes from the end of your cane and just dissipates right off the edge of your cane. Just...
Zephyra says, fuck!
Solara cackles out almost amused and says, don't worry, dear. I'm sure that's never happened before, right? It's very common. Don't worry. I'll make it happen next time.
As this last sentence is uttered, both smile, catching the hilariousness of the moment. Who would like to take the next move?
Saphira laughs and says, I'll get you next time.
And Solara says, I hope you do, because I've enjoyed this.
They both chuckle as Saphira leans in. She goes to make a snarky comment, but their eyes meet.
As their eyes meet, Solara sees almost vulnerability within Saphira's eyes. And as she leans in, Solara would embrace her gently. You know, I see something within your eyes. I think you and I will get along quite well, Seth.
All right, and I think this would be the perfect place to end this first episode. I hope everyone out there who has listened so far is really enjoying it, because I know we are. Don't forget, any of the Patreon members or anybody who wants to support the podcast, send us a message. We do have emails in... I have an email in my link tree, which is lovestruckbylexi@gmail.com. And my friend Requiem of Prose will also have an email, which I will add in the next episode. But most definitely, stick around, enjoy the adventure, and don't forget, we can't stop fighting the good fight. Much like our characters today, we choose what we do next. So, let the adventure begin. What will you do?